World Art Day today, and at PATV we celebrate all kinds of art: dance, music, art, drawing, you name it. I'm Patricia Gira, and today I'm joined by Katz, singer, songwriter, environmentalist, and a long-term resident of Great Neck. Welcome to the show, Pat.
Thank you so much, Patricia. Love your name.
Thank you. You're my namesake. So you were once a member of a group called the Steinitz.
Yes, yes.
How did your music career get started?
Well, we were all actors at NYU, most of us, and we were cast in a show at Westbeth Theater. And we ended up being, it was the Phil Stein show, who was a comic, and featuring the Steinettes. And we ended up being like the fill-in, and we would do a cappella. And it was sort of, once our career got going, one record producer once said, described us as the Andrews Sisters on acid. So we were zany and fun, and it was just wonderful. And we went on to sing in the streets because we wanted to get some audience feedback. About 6 months later, to do a benefit at Westbeth, they asked us to come back, and we hadn't sung in a while, so we said, let's go to Washington Square. And we put a hat down, and we sang on the streets, and people started throwing money, and we were like, you know, this is not a bad idea. So we started doing it every weekend, and then the crowds got bigger and bigger, and then agents and managers, and then eventually Robert Altman, the film director, saw us and said, I'd like to put you in my movie, Health. And
wow.
And he said, would you write the music? And we went, yeah, Bob. And we left, we went, does anybody write music? And none of us had written music. But Bob was that kind of guy. He just trusted people that they were talented and threw you in the deep end. And it was great. I started writing music.
Wow.
Because of him, basically.
Wow. You were also recently semi-finalist in the contest of Song of the Year contest?
Yes.
Congratulations.
Thank you. I've actually gotten that and runner-up 3 years in a row. So I'm like, okay, maybe next year I'll win the whole thing. But it was the song, it was called His Love Is In Us All. And it was actually a Christian song, even though I'm Jewish. It was, the Spirit moved me, and I wrote a song, and it won, so I was very happy about that.
Wow, thank you so much.
Irving Berlin, it didn't hurt him any.
Oh,
so,
it's a beautiful song. And you also have a song called Joyride. That's a beautiful song too.
Oh, thank you.
What inspired you to write the song?
Well, Joyride, I wrote last year, and it was for a friend of mine named Keith, who unfortunately passed away. And for me, it was pretty, it was pretty sudden. And he was an oceanographer, and I had gone to Mexico, to Puerto Vallarta, and visited him and his business partner, Oscar, and they run a whale watching tour boat. So they picked me up at the airport, and they said, come on, we're going. And I'm like, where are we going? And we went right onto the boat and went whale watching. So when he passed away, like 3 weeks after his passing, I woke up at about 3 in the morning, and I just started writing this song. And I hadn't written in a while, so it was really a gift. It just came to me, and I really think Keith was like up there helping me write it. I wrote it in one day, and it was like, okay, you know, this, and it was a real gift. So,
unbelievable.
and it's really the song, I'm going to sing it, so it's really captures him as he was an oceanographer. He loved all creatures, big and small, and he was so passionate about it. So,
oh wow! Yeah, you talk about the wells and the waves and everything. Okay, I won't spoil it for everyone. But first, I need to know, because I know this song will be available for purchase. Where could people purchase this song? And I understand some of the proceeds are going to an organization. Which organization is that?
Well, it's going to what was Keith and Oscar's organization. It's called Ocean Conservancy. And a portion of the sales of the song, you can buy it on iTunes or CD Baby. Just go to Patty Katz, and it'll come up with all my other songs. Buy them all, please. 99 cents.
Ooh, so, 99 cents. There you have it. I can't wait to listen to the song. So I won't be selfish. I've heard the song, but I want to listen to it some more, and I want you guys to listen to it too. Let's listen to the song.
Thank you.
Thank you, Pat.
Thank you. Let me just get a little sippy. joyride with my lover of the sea. His heart danced with the flowing tide, and now his spirit's free. His friend the sun came shining through eyes of mischief brown. Each day broke blessed with seagull chimes and so much laughter round. Now whales are singing his special song from underneath the sea. They knew his soul was filled with love for all of them you see. Each reach and blow and dive so deep, pay tribute to his call. To higher seas he's traveled, but his love is in us all. His life a catered party where all of us could feast, with pearls of wisdom strung on end, and laughter never ceased. With Brother Oz guiding a course on Cortez Sea, they chased majestic footprints and cherished how to be. Now whales are singing his special song from underneath the sea. They knew his soul was filled with love for all of them you see. Each preach and blow and dive so deep, pay tribute to his call. To higher seas he's traveled, but his love is in us all. Now whales are singing his special song from underneath the sea. They knew his soul was filled with love for all of them you see. Each breach and blow and dive so deep, pay tribute to his call. To higher seas he's traveled, but his love is in us all. Yes, his love is in us all. His love is in us all. I love you, Keith.
Thank you very much,
You're
Patty.
welcome.
That was so moving and
Thank you.
so beautiful.
Thanks.
Oh my God. It's so beautiful. I have to get the lyrics. And I hope you're strong for your friend and everything. So you're also an environmentalist.
Yes, I am.
Have you always been interested in this?
I've always been interested, and you know, I remember going to the first Earth Day in New York City, and I've just always had a connection to the earth and nature, and understand the harmony. It's really important that the world is we're all one, and that means everything. Everything's connected, oh, just lost an earring.
Oh, sorry.
But you know, I'm connected with nature, but not my jewelry. So that's very true too. So anyway, yeah, I've always been an environmentalist, and I actually formed when I was first moved to Great Neck, second moved to Great Neck when I grew up and moved back. I joined Reach Out America, which is a local nonprofit organization. We're a grassroots activist organization. Wonderful. We meet the second Wednesdays of every month at the UUC in Manhasset. That's a little commercial because you really should run and come. We have the best speakers every month. And I started the Green Committee, which was, I felt it was really important. It was actually before Al Gore started doing Inconvenient Truth, I was thinking about it, and then he did it, and that's what kicked it off. And they said, okay, come and start the committee. And we did actions all through Great Neck, Nassau County. We really fought to stop fracking and things like that. So the reason why I'm talking about this is that my cousin lived in California, and she called me one day and said, listen, she'd gone to Africa, let me just say that. She went to Africa, to Kenya, and she said, I'm having a benefit for this Maasai warrior. And I'm like, really? And what's that for? And she said, well, he's going to come. He's a Maasai warrior elder named Olutome, and they need water. You know, she'd gone there and saw that they needed, you know, the villages, they needed a lot of things. And she said, Olutome, how can I help? What can I do? And he said, we need water. So she said she was going to do that. And I said, well, what do you mean he needs water? You know, they need water. They said, there's no fresh water. And I grew up in Great Neck. I had I was always an environmentalist, but I didn't realize that a third of the world doesn't have fresh water, and how we take everything for granted, and it's vital. It's vital that they have fresh water. So what happens in Africa and all countries, Uganda, Kenya, all over, that the families, the daughters, it's really bad for the daughters and the mothers. You know, all the women really have to get the water. That's their job. They have to go, and that might mean walking 3 to 5 miles, sometimes 10 miles, till they find a watering hole. And you say, okay, so they're going for a walk. Well, they're going for a walk in the jungle, where I go safaring as a tourist. That's where they live, and they're just walking through. There can be lions, there can be elephants, there can be rhino, whatever. And they have to get the water. They're carrying these huge containers, empty one way and then filled up. Now, a container this big, I couldn't even pick it up. And I went about 12 years ago, so I was a lot younger. And they carry it on their heads, their backs, and it's horrible for them. And also, it pulls them out of school. So if they're like 7 years old or 9 years old, they're out, because they got to get the water for the family so that they can cook, they can clean, all of those things, and drink. So if they get to a water hole after walking 5 miles in the heat, and there's a herd of elephant, who's getting the water?
Oh, wow.
So when I heard that, I went, I live in Great Neck. I said to her, Joanne, how much does it cost to drill a well? She goes, it's about $14,000. And that was, about 10, 12 years ago. And I went, I live in Great Neck. They have money in Great Neck. I'll do a benefit. So I called Reach Out America, and I said, guys, this is what I want to do. Will you help me? And they were amazing. One thing about Reach Out America, it's an action organization. We do action. We help with candidates. We do all this stuff. So they came. We had a beautiful fundraiser, and we raised enough money to drill a well. And the year later, I was invited to go to Kenya, and I got to see where they were going to be. They started doing one well. We did 2 wells, one in Masai Mara and one in Samburu. So it was really amazing. So one day I was driving to Connecticut, and on the way I started writing this next song. So I went, wow, this is out of this whole experience. This experience changed my life and really pushed me into being really an environmental activist, and realizing that we really need to help each other.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
What's the name of this song?
It's called Changing for the Better.
Changing for the Better.
And given what's going on in our, administration right now, I know people out there are just so anxious and nervous, and every day is a breaking news and making us all crazy at night. Yeah. And, so I know you might listen to this and go, no way, but you know what? I still believe this. Wow. I still believe it.
Before we listen to Changing for the Better, could you tell us if you have any plans in the pipeline to write a new song?
Well, I've always loved the idea of possibly doing like a musical, possibly stringing some of these songs and writing new things. I'd love to write some new things. I've just I was very happy this song, the last song that I sang, was the first one in a while. So I just hope it's the first of many.
Okay, so let's listen to Changing for the Better. Thank you.
I see you
grove of trees thriving in the desert. Hear the sounds of children finally laughing. Taste the crystals of pure, clean water. And I know our world is changing for the better. It's hard to keep the faith when so many still are dying. Live in grace when hunger causes crying. Say goodbye to greed and hatred. 'Cause I know our world is changing for the better. See it with me, see it with me now. It's not far away, just reach out and be proud. It only takes one light to burn through the darkness. Raise it high, give your heart a purpose. The storm is here, but the calm is coming. And I know our world is changing for the better. Sing it with me, sing it with me now. It's not far away, just reach out and be proud. It only takes one light to burn through the darkness. Raise it high, give your heart a purpose. The storm is here, but the calm is coming. And I know our world is changing for the better. The storm is here, but the calm is coming. And I know our world, yes, I know our world, yes, I know our world is changing for the better. Changing for the better. Changing for the better. Changing for the better. I know our world is changing, changing for the better. Changing for the better.
Very much.
you,
That was
Patricia.
a beautiful song.
Oh, thank you.
I should work on
Thanks so
my
much.
soprano so I could somehow work with you.
Do a little harmony. I need harmony.
Anyway, thank you so much for
Thank
joining
you.
us
It's a
today.
pleasure.
And we enjoyed the music. And don't forget where to go if you want to buy the song.
iTunes or CD
iTunes.
Baby.
Save the
Thank
world,
you.
change the world, change yourself. Change yourself.
Feel good.
Feel good. Thank you
you.
very much. And now we're going to have the Dear Abbeys come in. You know they're good.